Today I want to talk to you about some projects that I'm working on for a long time now. Some less successful, some more successful. And I want to start this sub-format in MARKA off with showing you some early days of spring and call it the Beaver Diaries. I can't guarantee that you will see animals on all of these videos, but you will get an insight in my workflow and how it was generally going for me. And hopefully at the end of this, we're going to see some success for all of our troubles. Let's see how my first occasion went back then in early spring. Last year I've been looking for a beaver quite a lot and you haven't seen it on the channel. I posted a few vlogs on my Instagram, like small vlogs, kind of in the Instagram story. I was really looking for the beaver. I saw so many signs in my local forest, but I could never get an animal on the camera. That was a bit disappointing. You just have to further work and work with it. So I was really happy then that the animal was on the cameras here. And today in the evening we're just gonna lay here and it's really nice evening light soon. I think I could work out really well. I have the kind of hint, the signs here that the beaver comes out of the water here. There are some signs in the snow. Of course it doesn't have to happen. I just will want to get into position, but before we get into position I want to show you something that I want to do differently today to get better video recordings. So what we do today is that we take this middle pillar out and turn it around so that we kind of have our telescope lens hanging down below here so that we can get really close to the ground and still have kind of a steady movement to film. So as easy as this, we have the ball head the other way around. I think I could also try it out with my fluid head, but for today I wanted to try out the ball head. And now we can basically get really close to the ground as much as we want, as much as we need. You never be sure if the beavers really show up, because beavers they gnaw on trees, and if you see signs on a tree, it doesn't mean that they come back necessarily soon, because sometimes they also just wait for the wind to push the tree over. So they're quite clever animals. So now that I'm kind of in position, I have the mat, I have the tripod set up, I just have to put the Z6 on the camera and then I film with D750 for the vlog. We just have to put the camera on and then kind of balance a bit out with the ARCA Swiss plate where the midpoint is with the zoom, and then we should get quite steady footage. Yeah, when an animal shows up, and it should also help with the photos. Of course, it's sometimes a bit more flexible with handheld, but if you're a hybrid shooter, I think that's a better solution. Yeah, works really good. Now it's only waiting. I have the feeling that this is gonna be quite a low light experience today. Low light adventure, but we're gonna see. I'm not sure how much the D750 can vlog of that if it gets too dark. Position-wise, I'm really happy. I think this could work out really well, if I'm quiet enough. I'm back at the beaver place for day 2. Last time I didn't have enough clothing on, I underestimated the temperatures. This time I brought everything I got basically, just to make sure that I'm staying warm. It's still snow, but it's plus degrees, so you can easily get wet, and there's a lot of wind in between, some gusts in between, and then it's really cold. So I think I'm better prepared for that today. But it was still too cold. The gust was quite rough, and the worst thing was it was coming from my back, so any chance of seeing a beaver from the front was already diminished by then. I did not know, but it was not a really big mistake that I left soon after because I was freezing. Gladly I had another location to check out later in spring, where friends had seen beavers, they had filmed them, there was Beaver Castle. I was really certain to see beavers there, but that is just an example to show you that I'm not going out a single time and then I see an animal. It's just not how it is, and I don't think that you know that that's how it is. And I just don't want anyone to feel bad about going out and not seeing anything, because that happens to all of us. I just want to show you the whole process. So the camp is set up. I just, when it gets dark, will crawl in there. Tent is maybe way too big for me, but at least I have some space. I didn't have to carry it far. That's the good part. We are at a location where there is confirmed beaver. Often beaver dams are destroyed and so on. And they're really important for example, filtering out the water in a surrounding. That said, we will go into position. I will not talk much, I will more give you a commentary, because with beavers you have to be really quiet, and it's good if you smell quite neutral. You look out for which wind direction you sit in, that's really important, because they're really sensible to smell and to sounds. But they're basically blind, so I don't really have to put my camouflage on. I will probably just put it on, because I don't want any unnecessary sound, and the camouflage suit, the ghillie suit, doesn't make so much noise. So that's the perfect thing to do. And I will just dress a bit differently, and then we go over there and into position, and then it's a long wait. As you know, spring, stressful time. A lot of animals are out to be photographed by you. That's simply amazing. Now it is just about getting into position, not saying much, listening, and also not moving much. I had a beautiful evening that day, even though no beaver showed up. And as the night came creeping in, I started to feel a bit anxious for them. The day took an end, and I found my way into the tent now, warming up under my sleeping bags. I put some double layers of wool on. I have a bit of a few minus degrees this night, -3, -4 maybe. But then in the morning I will keep all this on and basically just throw my camouflage over, just go over there as quiet as I can. No beavers this morning. I have to admit I'm a bit surprised because it's not long that some friends have seen them here. And of course that could mean that they just worked at night. But I have that slight fear that maybe someone also shot them. Because as if I remember it correctly, you're allowed to shoot beaver for a long time in Norway. And even in time where they're highly pregnant. I was suspicious that morning that someone might have shot the beavers, but I can't say that for sure. There is no evidence from my side. I just know that some people don't really like the beavers around there. One thing that they might not have been there could be that they laid new internet cables maybe a week before I got to the place, and that could have interrupted the beavers and they went to another place where they have another beaver castle. What I can say for sure is that someone teared down the dams not too long after I've been there, and that says enough how the beavers are generally treated in the area, sadly. At that point I gave a bit up on that location and that area and tried to look into another direction. And there's a place where beaver have a way better time and are more protected by people that are engaged in trying to help them. And I hope I can show you something about that in the next video of Beaver Diaries and show you something about this guy. Until that next episode, I hope you enjoyed this really well. If so, leave a like, maybe sub if you're new here, or leave me a comment with constructive criticism. If good or bad, that's something I can work with. I got some downvotes on my last documentary update, and that was the first one I made, so I don't really understand why, so comments are really more helpful for me to put it in another direction. Not too many people saw that video anyhow, so maybe it stuck a bit more out than I thought. I thank you so much for watching. Maybe you want to join me on Instagram for photos, reels and updates. And until then, I hope to see you soon again. Bye.